Let's get down to business. Show business. On this week's episode, Iron Man is now Iron Woman, and she's kind of hot. Also, Jared Leto is rumored to be playing one of fiction's most famous vampires. Maybe I should start calling him Jared Lestat. And Pokemon Go is now available to download in the App Store here in North America. I've played it. I'm going to give you my thoughts. That and more here on the EntertainMAN tonight. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new episode of the EntertainMAN tonight, episode 2. I'm Matthew Scorpio, your host, coming to you live as always from Chicago, Illinois. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot to talk about this week. So much has been going on. I can't wait to talk about it with you. So let's just get right down to business. Our first topic for tonight is Iron Man is now Iron Woman, and this is awesome. Okay, I know some people are going to freak out. Some people are, hey, that's Tony Stark, leave him alone. I agree. I'm a huge Iron Man fan. Iron Man is my favorite superhero. He's been my favorite superhero since I was 8 years old. I had an art teacher back in the day. He brought in a bunch of superhero toys, and he was an art teacher, so he said he wanted all of us to each pick, a superhero and draw it. And, so, all the class run of there, someone grabbed Batman, they grabbed Superman, they grabbed Spider-Man, they grabbed Thor, someone grabbed Namor. Namor! Little kids don't even know who Namor is. And there was a very small amount of superheroes left. I got in right at the end, and I saw this little action figure, this little yellow and red guy. He was robot, he looked badass, and I asked my art teacher, I said, who is this guy? And he said, that's Iron Man. And he told me all about him, and I've been in love ever since. 8 years old, 1998. So, you would think a huge Iron Man fan, out of all people, would be the most reluctant for this change, but I'm not. It's not a bad change at all. It's like, when Robin kind of turned into Nightwing, I guess, or, Batgirl being Batgirl. It's not like she's... Whoever this character is going to take the mantle completely away from Tony. He established what Iron Man is. He is Iron Man. We all know that Tony Stark is Iron Man. But I'm so interested to see what they do with this character. Apparently she's very smart, very intellectual, so she knows how to use technology to her advantage. She knows how to invent things as well, and I guess that's why Tony felt comfortable with passing down the armor to her. Iron Man is now Iron Woman. I'm completely stoked for it. She's hot, too, man. Look at her. Look at the animation for her. Her cartoon, she is beautiful. She's going to be a beautiful black lady. I cannot wait. I hope that eventually one day we get to see her in the MCU, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There should be an Iron Woman movie. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. says he's kind of getting tired of him anyway, so why not have an Iron Woman? Black Iron Woman. That's fucking amazing. I'm so glad we live in 2016 that this is happening. That's Iron Woman, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of Iron Woman and the new change. Marvel's throwing a lot of new changes at us. Captain America was in Hydra, now he's not. Miles Morales, the black Latino Spider-Man, they're making it ethnically diverse, which is, I think, an amazing thing. Race aside, doesn't matter. An Iron Woman, that's awesome. Because, we've had Rhodey and the War Machine, that's a black dude, but Iron Woman, man, I just can't get over it still. I'm still excited. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, on to other news. Starting off with movie news, Finding Dory is again for 3 weeks in a row. Number 1. Came in at number 1 again. 3 weeks in a row. Has beat out now Independence Day, Resurgence, and also has beat out Legend of Tarzan. So, Finding Dory, I gave it an okay review in the first episode. People are loving it. They're loving it more than Zootopia, I think. And I think Zootopia is one of the best animated films to come out in a long time. Even better than Inside Out, in my opinion. Just my opinion. But yeah, Finding Dory, again, swimming strong. And Disney also announced this past week that we are finally getting a sequel to Wreck-It Ralph. It is official. It's been rumored for quite some time, but it is now official. So fans of the original Wreck-It Ralph film and fans of the porno spoof parody, Rectum Ralph, can both get excited, because I'm sure they're both, excited, probably in completely different ways. Hopefully, Rectum Ralph will get a sequel as well. In other news, Game of Thrones concluded its 6th season this past Sunday. leaving its viewers with many multiple intriguing questions. One of them, of course, being, if Tyrion Lannister has sex with that giant guy, would that person just come out average-sized? Also, Andy Muschietti of the 2013 film Mama put out a picture on Instagram this past week showing us a picture of a production chair saying It, Stephen King's It. He is the director of the production. He has let us know that filming has finally begun. This movie was rumored to have been in production for quite some time now. Corey Fukanga, who was the director of the first season of True Detective, the only good season of True Detective, he was supposed to film it, but due to either budget constraints, time, I don't know what it was, he dropped out of the project. Will Fuller was supposed to play Pennywise. Now they have someone else playing him, someone from the Penny Dreadful show. I can't remember his name, I'll put it here. But I'm a huge fan of the book. Came out in 1985. The book is very different from the Tim Curry miniseries. I'm a huge fan of that as well. It's going to be interesting to see how they pull this off. If it works, I think it's going to be 2 parts. It's going to be the first movie is about the kids. Second movie is going to be about the adults. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it goes well. In other horror movie news, as we were talking about earlier, Jared Leto is apparently rumored to star as Lestat de Liancourt in Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles film adaptations that I guess are coming. Obviously, if you've seen the 90s film with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt, that was Interview with the Vampire, which in the book series is followed by The Vampire Lestat, which is, I think, the movie they're going to do, and then that's followed by Queen of the Damned, and then Tale of the Body Thief, and on and on and on. There's so many books in this series that they could do, movie-wise, if this works out. If Jared Leto likes this character, if he even officially signs on. It's just rumored right now, but it's about 95% official, but not all the way there. But I think this is the perfect choice if you're going to recast Lestat. Tom Cruise, I think, did an amazing job. But I'm very interested to see Jared Leto's take on this. If you know anything about Jared Leto, he really commits to roles. He is the definition of a method actor. He gained weight for the movie Chapter 27, in which he played Mark David Chapman, John Lennon's killer. He lost weight and won a Best Supporting Oscar for the 2013 film Dallas Buyers Club. And also, if you've seen any kind of trailers or any of the pictures of him as the Joker now, you've seen that he did a complete transformation for the Joker as well. So this man really commits. So I'm really interested to see just how much of a method actor Jared Leto is. How method are you, Jared? Are you going to drink blood like Lestat does? Because Daniel Day-Lewis would do it, you pussy. James Cameron, the director of T2, Titanic, Avatar, was in the news this past week. He had some comments to say about J.J. Abrams and The Force Awakens, saying that he thought it wasn't very innovative and it wasn't very visually creative either. I'll put the exact quotes here, but he just basically said that it lacked originality. And I think it's really funny coming from a guy who made Avatar, which is basically a Dances with Wolves ripoff, mixed in with some Smurfs, as South Park has clearly stated. And it's true. And he's also doing 4 fucking sequels in a row to this movie that no one has asked for. Back to back, he's going to film 4 sequels to Avatar. It doesn't need 1, let alone 4. But he's going to do it. And he's talking about unoriginal to J.J. Abrams. It's just kind of funny. I just think it's kind of ironic. But let's be honest. J.J. Abrams did basically rip off A New Hope and the other Star Wars movies, and James Cameron is right, but I'm still allowed to call him out on being a hypocritical douche. Let's talk about Netflix. This past week there was a lot of news coming in for Netflix. Apparently, there's going to be a Lost in Space Netflix series, so fans of the old TV series and fans of the shitty, mediocre 90s film can give a collective shout of, yay! Who gives a shit? Also in Netflix news, Death Note, based on the manga, based on the anime series, Death Note is finally in production as well. They've casted it, they're starting to film. If you know anything about this, you've got to be excited. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know anything about Death Note, it is an anime, it's a manga. If you're not into those kind of things, that's fine. But this anime has one of the best storylines I've ever seen. It keeps you on your toes constantly. It's full of twists, full of turns, just things that you just aren't going to see coming at you. Check it out, even if you don't like anime or don't like manga. It's definitely worth the read. It's kind of like Watchmen, even if you're not a huge comic book fan. Everyone should read Watchmen because it's just a great story. Just, even if you don't like comics, same with V for Vendetta. So yeah, check out Death Note, and that's the Netflix news for this week. So let's talk about trailers. There were a few trailers that debuted this week, one of which was the movie Trolls, based on the popular kids' toy. We've all seen Trolls. And the trailer looked cute. It turns out that the movie has a soundtrack written by both Justin Timberlake and Gwen Stefani. So I have no doubt that this movie will end stink. Oh God, I'm so lonely. Another movie that debuted this week was for the film Sully. And immediately I was disappointed because I found out it was a film directed by Clint Eastwood starring Tom Hanks, and not a sequel to Monsters, Inc. about Sully the Monster. Pixar. Does Sully ever meet back up with Boo? I mean, he put the door back together. There's so many questions. We need a sequel that's not Monsters University. Please help us. And the last trailer I saw this week was for a boxing biopic film starring Miles Teller, simply titled Bleed for This. And it looks decent. It actually looks really good. When asked on set what fueled him while he was in the boxing ring, Miles Teller said, "Well, with every punch that I threw, I just imagined that I was beating the shit out of the director and the writer of Fan 4 Stick." He didn't say that, but he should have. Also, the Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice Ultimate Edition was released this past week, giving its viewers an extra half hour of runtime. Viewers were disappointed, though, when they found out that the entire 30 minutes was just Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, stuffing Jolly Rancher after Jolly Rancher into different characters' mouths consecutively for 30 minutes. Cherry! Alright, now let's talk about Pokemon Go. It finally debuted today in North America. I got to try it out. It's amazing, ladies and gentlemen. It is so much fun. If you're a Pokemon fan, you're going to love Pokemon Go. Simply put, it is amazing. It is so much fun. It gets you out and about in the world. It makes you leave the house. It makes you go out and about and find different kinds of Pokemon. Yeah, you can sit around. You can find Pokemon in your house. I actually found a good amount of Pokemon in my house. Some rare, some not rare, but some strong, some not strong. But it just shows you that you can just sit around in bed and you can still catch Pokemon just like you could on a Game Boy. So it's, that element of it hasn't changed, but it does get you out and about because there are gyms that you can go to, not actual gyms where you work out, but gyms where Pokemon people, we know what we're saying. Where you go and you train, where you go and you fight, you can actually be a gym leader at some of these gyms if you can claim them before someone else does. It's just, it's so interactive, it's so fun. There's just so many amazing things to say about this game. You can just throw a little ball, and you catch them. And the Pokemon are in your bedroom, they're outside, they're at your workplace. They're everywhere. You can't escape them. The Pokemon are everywhere. And it's a free app, so, I mean, you can't really we've never gotten anything Pokemon for free, ever. Since its, birth in the 90s. We've never gotten anything Pokemon for free. So that in and of itself is amazing. All you have to do is just have a smartphone. Just download the app. It's out for iOS right now. I think it's going to be out for Android soon. But yeah, if you've played it, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about it, which Pokemon you've caught, which ones you want to catch the most, which ones you don't want to catch at all. There's some you just are like, fuck it, I don't want Mr. Mon. Get out of here, Mr. Mon. We don't want you. No one wants you. But yeah, that's Pokemon Go, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out. Even if you're not a fan of Pokemon, I say it's free. Check it out. Why not? Ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much wraps it up for episode 2 of the EntertainMAN tonight. Before we leave, we always like to go out with a bang! And at the end of the show, when we go out with a bang, I'm asked by you, the viewer, who I would hypothetically bang in whatever category that you send to me. This week, I was asked, which Sailor Scout would you bang? And I had to think long and hard about this one, but considering all the Sailor Scouts are basically 14 years old, I would say none of them. I would look at none of them in a sexually creepy way and would never touch them at all. But since this is hypothetical and it is my show, I can pick whoever the fuck I want to, and I pick Sailor Pluto. Sailor Pluto, if you don't know anything about her, if you're not a huge Sailor Moon fan, she's badass. She's like the guardian of time and of an abyss, and she's just like this lone warrior. She's sexy, you know. And Scorpio, each zodiac sign has a planet attributed to it, and Scorpio has Pluto, so it's in the heavens, it's in the stars. It's supposed to work out this way. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with me here on the EntertainMAN tonight. This is episode 2. Tell me what you thought about this show. Tell me what you thought about Jared Leto, potentially being Lestat. Tell me what you thought about Pokemon Go. Tell me what you thought about Finding Dory if you saw it. Tell me what you thought about Stephen King's It or the Netflix shows that are coming out. Let me know what you think. Down here in the comments, give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a thumbs up, whatever, I don't care. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me here on the EntertainMAN tonight. Were you not entertained? That's still my catchphrase. I'm sticking with it. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.